Capricorn, I'm Lisi, the High Priestess. I tell stories. Press like, subscribe, notification bell. With the notification bell, you can get my lives. If not, you have to wait 12 hours. It's a brand new channel with my old name. Press like, subscribe, notification. Okay, what do we have for Capricorn? Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Okay, so happy birthday, Capricorn. All right, I hope you got 2 presents this year. Okay, all right, what do we have for you? All right, Capricorn. All right, I feel like something is automatic, a machine. The Emperor, okay, and the Page of Swords. My husband is watching me. Someone's husband is watching, okay. The boss is always watching, okay. The boss has a spy, okay. Oh wow, the Magician, not my husband. I'm sorry. I'm like, this is your husband. Your husband's watching you. Okay, your husband spies on you too. Okay. I also feel like there's an Aries that's watching everything that you do. Okay, there's an Aries that is being trained to be a boss. Okay, you're training a boss right here. It's training day for the bosses. So we're taking it there. Training day. All right. It's training day. Okay. You're training someone to be a boss. This young kid, he wants to be like you. So you're training this young kid. They're in the training. Okay. All right. Also, I feel like someone's assigned to you. The Magician and the Knight of Swords. You're sending them to Okay, so you're sending the messenger. Okay, don't shoot the messenger. I hear the King of Pentacles. Also, this is you. And I see another King of Pentacles right on the top, okay? 2 King of Pentacles right here. There's the King of Pentacles right here. There's this young kid and there's an Emperor. There's 2 other men right here. Okay, so it's a boss convention, or only bosses sit around this table, all right? The main honchos sit in this table. This table ain't for everybody. And your husband might be the main man of all of this. And your husband has people who are paid to watch you. There's 2 people, one taking the night shift and one taking the day shift. And every day they report to your husband. Now, you know what this reminds me? The movie True Lies. Where he kidnaps his wife and everything because she thought she was cheating, and he had her under investigation and everything. This is an investigation of cheating. Okay, this is also cheaters. All right. Or someone's husband is investigating someone if they're cheating. Okay, because there's all these prospects right here. There's these rich men around, okay, or you're in a society where there's nothing but rich men or something like that, and you just got to make sure that baby girl ain't messing around with somebody else. Okay, or this is you're using tarot to find out. Okay, but I feel like you're talking to 2 different men right here. There's the Moon card, the Magician card, the Moon card, and the Emperor. And the 7 of Wands. Ooh, is this the 7 of Wands? Yeah. Someone's husband is a little jealous right here. Okay. Someone's husband is jealous right here. They're like, where the fuck did these men come from? Why do these men keep popping up? Like, man, you staring at my girl? You're staring at my girl a little too much. Do you know this dude? Why is he staring at you for? You know him? Like someone's going up there to somebody like, do you know my girl? Do you know my wife? Not dog. I don't know your wife. She's pretty though. I also feel like someone's telling someone, "Are you going to eat that?" And they're pointing at somebody's wife. Whoa, someone has balls to say this to someone. Eight of Pentacles at work. They're like, "Oh, that's your wife? Oh, that's wifey right there? Y'all together? How's it going? How's your relationship going?" So it's like none of your fucking business. What the fuck? Why are you looking at my girl for? They're like, "Is that your girl?" Someone's like, "Is that your girl though? Is that your girl? Is it your girl?" That's cool. I feel like someone's like cooling down and stuff like that because someone's acting like somebody's husband. Also, work husband. Movies. Okay, so someone could be watching this. This reminds me of that movie with Will Ferrell and oh boy, where he meets his wife, the old lady, and he was like, "For real, that's your wife?" And he was like, "Yeah, that's my wife." And then when he tries to say he was not even interested in his partner, he was interested in his wife, like it was very clear, like he was interested in his wife and kept complimenting his wife all night and was like, "I don't know what you're doing with him. You're dating my partner, like you're." Yeah, I see something like that. Okay, I know it's very unorthodox. He's a, what does she call him, prodigist or something like that, and I'm a Catholic. The two of us, but we love each other, and that's all that matters. The Wheel of Fortune. Um, we're together. Judgment. Like someone's finding out, like that's your wife, though. Like here's the there's the cop car. Right. And the Ace of Cup reversed. They're like, "What are you doing with him?" Someone is saying that. Like, what the fuck do they see in you? Like, someone's like, "What do you mean?" Okay. And you know what's so funny that Will Ferrell in that movie, he used to be like a pimp. He used to be like a pimp in college and stuff like that. He was like an enforcer for these women that did homework. I don't know. And so the partner didn't know about that life that he had before. He was like, "I still have a traumatic stress over it." Like he wakes up like saying things like, "Bitch, you better pay me my money." And yeah, and he gets like, and so when his wife tells him that like I'm pregnant, he was like, "You dirty whore, you didn't wrap it up, and that ain't my kid." Because he still suffers from post-traumatic stress when he was a pimp. You know what I mean? When he was pimping, so he forgets that he can't treat his wife like that. You know what I mean? You could have treated your hoes like that, but you can't treat your wife like that. You know, and someone is still suffering from that. Like they're suffering from like treating bitches like shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I'm all laughing and stuff. People be going through some serious shit, so I don't wanna take something so serious and make a joke out of it. I apologize, you know, but on the sense of humor, on like comedy and stuff like that, like let's say a man used to be a player, right? And he played all these women he didn't love. But this is the woman that you love, and you're trying to unlearn some shit that you did with these women that you didn't give a fuck about. And so you can't treat the lady of your life, your wife, like how you treat these women in the streets. And shame on you if you're treating your wife a lot worse than these women in the streets, okay? But yet everybody's story is different because people be married to people the other person be knowing damn well they're no longer in love, not just from side like signs, like there's couples out here that someone has flat out told a person like, "I'm not in love with you, I don't want to be with you, I'm only here for the kids, or I'm only here until, or your father paid me to marry you, or your mother maybe, or I'm only here for the family, I'm only here for the business." There's real life situations like that. real life situations where people like they know flat out that person don't want to be with them, or and I don't get it if someone like is constantly telling you that you don't love that they don't love you, then you only I don't know. I really feel like that's some form of mental illness when you try to force somebody to love you when they clearly told you they had enough of your shit, don't want to have shit to do with you. Let them fucking go. Like, cause it's no longer about love. It then it becomes something of dominance and forcing someone to submission instead of allowing them to live their free will. That's not love. That's being caged. That's being forced into bondage. Shit, that's fucking rape. All right, being forced to stay and using children and using ultimatums and shit to stay together. Yeah, nah, fuck that. But people really be in these kind of situations. Okay. All right, so let's carry on with this story. Uncle. That's my cool uncle. Okay, or someone has the reputation of being the cool uncle. So what's gonna happen when the cool uncle finally gets married? You gonna treat your wife like you treat these whores in the street? Someone has post traumatic pimp stress. I don't know. Used to these throwaways, and now when you got to keep her, you don't know. Like you have to unlearn some shit. You can't talk to her like that. Anyone that values herself is not going to allow you to talk to him. That's why when he has said that to his wife, she slapped him and she left. When he was like, "Why didn't you jimmy up?" and stuff like that, and she just left. Like, but she knew who he was before then. But it's like anybody will want your wife except for you. Don't be treating. I don't know. Some of these men that be in women's DMs, they be shooting their shot like they don't got a wife at home. And it makes you wonder, like, how tired of you are you? I mean, shit, you guys just took pictures in your pajamas. Pisces, alert, dancer, share, love, vibrating high. Yeah, because like this person really loves you. She's not a dancer. She's not like a woman in the street. You can't treat her like that. She's not going to let you treat you. She is not easy. And because in the relationship that they had in that movie, she was like the perfect housewife. And she loved her husband and she supported him and gave him like his space and all this shit. So I don't know. This is for all the players across the world. You can't treat your wife like you treat these hoes in the streets. You just can't. Because a woman that really values herself, she's not going to, she'll take a little bit of shit here and there, but she ain't going to allow you to disrespect you, to be disrespected. She's not. Oh no, you got to come back and you got to apologize and you got to make things right with your woman, or you're going to be left in that mentality with women that don't value themselves, or even men, even as a woman. And this is true, especially for single ladies. All right. How many of y'all single ladies have prospects? Okay. I was having a conversation with Leo, and the Leo was telling me, she's like, if you really love someone, you will be more committed. But if you're not and you're single and you're living your best life, there's not, it comes with a lot of perks when you talk to a lot of prospects. And I was like, shit, that sounds like a headache, because I really think that's a fucking headache. I'm like, I could barely handle one. What the fuck would I do with four? What would I do with six? Lie to all of them? Tell them all the same thing? And I feel like I just don't have it in me to be that manipulative. So I don't. But there's a lot of single ladies that have prospects. And it's easy to dismiss them when you're like, they might not make a great boyfriend. Like when you're choosing, it's almost like swiping and swiping. Because let me tell you something. Women can attract a man faster than a man can attract a woman. That's just facts. Now, I know there's some pussy magnets out there. I know there's pussy magnets out there. And, but the quality of woman more than likely the quality of women that you're going to get that fits your nature. Because let's say if you're a man that sleeps around a lot, you're going to catch on to certain patterns that women have when they have traumatic stress, when they're dealing with baby daddy issues, dealing with money issues. Like you're gonna know definitely which one is a gold digger. You're gonna know which one is, when you have experienced that many women. And now here we are with a woman that has experienced a lot of suitors, or you don't necessarily have to sleep with them, because women pimp are a lot different than men pimp. I'm teaching you guys some real fucking game right now. Women pimps do not sleep with men. I'm talking about a madame. A madame isn't going to just sleep with you just because, and I'm talking about high level. Okay, I might be introducing pimping right here. I'm not trying to introduce. I'm just saying there is literally women that exist that will not put out unless you have certain credentials that they can cross off. If you ain't got what they want, you're not getting any piece of that cookie. Now, we can call them gold diggers. We can call them high-end prostitutes. We could call them escorts. We can call them strippers. We can just call them a vixen. They're going to put down a lot of people until they get the right price. So beautiful women, because I know I'm not alone in this, and I don't feel like I'm not no Beyonce. I'm just gas station fine. But gas station and fine going up, you deal with that kind of shit where you're offered sexual advances everywhere you go. And so when you get the pattern of how men think, you can have an advantage to that. Now, there's women that only think with their pussy, and there's men that only think with their dick. And that's what they will always amount to, is just that. So a lot of them, like they say, amongst Hollywood, they all fuck amongst themselves because they carry those credentials. So it's like high value pussy, high value dick. You know what I mean? The reason why, if you step out of anything that isn't in your social status, you can fall into these women that will birth a child just to fuck you every single month. Like you think you're fucking them, right? You think you're getting a good nut, like I'm gonna get a good nut, and then you're fucked for the next 18 years because you was busting a nut on a gold digging bitch. And then the fucking ain't as fun as what it used to be. Sorry for talking so vulgar. I've heard before in a lot of interviews, these prostitutes say that like they go home and they treat their wife all nice and everything, and they go to these prostitutes and do those dirty fantasies that they have. They can't go back and yell at their wife and tell her to turn over like the whore that she is. They save that shit for a real whore. This is no shade to anybody and whatever it is that you do. No, but let's keep it 100. Let's keep it 100. Lisa ain't telling no fucking lies. If you calling me a fucking liar, then you really ain't in the game. Then whatever the fuck you're doing, man, you're about to get fucking pimped because you don't know the fucking game. You need a man to think for you, and that's the fucking problem. And then it rises into a whole human trafficking shit to where that's why I'm not encouraging it. Because this shit starts at a very young age, where these young men think it's cool to be a player. STDs, all this shit, they're not wrapping it up. They're playing games. And then these young men don't even have a handle or a grip to their emotions. Now, understand, if they fuck around with a woman that is experienced in her sex, she can manipulate a young man. The same thing goes with these young women, 18-year-olds, fresh 18-year-olds dating these grown-ass 40-year-old men. They know what you want. You want to be taken care of. They know they can buy your emotions. It's something that we need to, I really feel like these kind of conversations should be done at school, where you should alert the young teens what pimping is and what what is grooming and what is really done in the streets, and the kind of mentality that some men will have to eat you alive. So, and even unlearning that shit is kind of wild, because there's movies and there's interviews about people that say they've tried to get saved, go to churches and stuff, and then a pastor or something will try to take advantage of them because they are a known escort. Some of these pimps becoming pastors and spiritual leaders and shit. Yeah, run cults. So what I'm saying is that we have to understand the code and understand the patterns of man and the kind of women and kind of men they have experienced to understand the patterns that someone might be looking at you as. There's men that only deal with women who are fast because they're easy to get rid of. And there's men that want to be in committed relationships, but then you might fall yourself into a committed relationship that will be a long time for you to get out because you got yourself so committed. So, like, I'm not teaching anybody how to date. I'm just having a conversation with you about real shit in this world. It's funny that like people don't talk about the pimp mentality, and people carry that shit like because of the shit they see on TV, the music that they listen to. Shit, I've fallen into it. I used to listen to Too Short when I was young. I swear, because of Too Short's mentality, it saved me from a lot of pimping that men may have wanted from me. Because I knew that's how man would think. You think I'm just part of your woman crew and you're gonna pimp me? No, I think you could do your pimping by yourself and subtract me out of it. I am my own boss. I don't need you to think for me. Most men don't like an independent thinker until you find dependent women that can't live or even breathe without a fucking man, without a fucking woman. Men, there's men that will fall the fuck apart because they're so bewitched on some veteran pussy. She knows exactly what to do to you sexually that nobody else can. And she can use that as power. I just feel like, and let me tell you something, virgins are worth a lot. And that's getting into human trafficking. So what I'm saying is you need to be aware and woke about what's out here and speak to your children. Speak to your children how a husband should treat you, but more through example, because I know we all have our unfortunate events where we might have a long relationship with someone and that shit fizzles out, and that transition out of that, teaching your children that, like, look, I know we couldn't make it work, but it's the best thing for me mentally, so I could teach you if one day something fails in your life, you could get the fuck up and make it. Do not fall into this process as I can't live my life without them. Yes, you fucking can. Now, there's some things you will not be able to save your children from, but that doesn't mean you can't educate them before they fall into the hands of the wrong motherfucker that wasn't raised right. Ain't no prediction. This is more knowledge. And this has to be like said. You can't treat your wife like a hoe in the street. That mentality and treating a hoe in the street better than your own wife, I don't know why the fuck we're even teaching that shit. It's so hard to have your self-worth. And even if you were at one time very promiscuous, that should have taught you not to be promiscuous in the future and to value your energy. I don't give a fuck if you was shaking your ass for 1,000, $500 at the strip club, you probably look better than me and you're living in a better situation than me. I can't sit here and judge you, but I know you know that in the future, if what you really wanted for your kids, it wouldn't be that life. So would you not educate your kids about that life and why not to be like that? Anyone that's finessing their children to think that's okay, there's the root of the fucking problem. You think the drug dealer is going to tell you not to stop buying drugs and go and go seek medical help? Hell no. Now I don't know why things are the way they are. They just are. But good thing that Jesus was with a prostitute. She was stoned. He saved her. That was his wifey. She left that life behind and moved forward. And this man doesn't. Jesus didn't treat her like a prostitute. And she stayed by his side through the whole time that everybody was trying to kill him as he fucking went up in that cross. But people will use your past against you. And people will not understand what the fuck you might be doing with somebody. But I'll tell you what, not everybody is who they used to be. But there's some people that will never change. And discernment is very important, especially when your wife ain't acting like a wife, when your husband ain't acting like a husband, when your sister ain't acting like a sister, when your brother ain't acting like your brother. You have to carry yourself accordingly and always be knowledgeable that pimping is just not sexualized shit. That pimping mentality happens at work. How many people have you ever had a job where someone kept taking credit for your hard work and never gave you acknowledgement? But somehow, some way, they always got you to do their fucking work. It may not be pimping, but it's grooming. And the mentality is the same. It's the same thing in Hollywood. Why is it when I get naked, I'm going to get more views than what I am being covered up? Not everybody thinks that being smart is cool. But, these are thoughts to ponder, Capricorn. You can't treat everybody the same sometimes. Sometimes you got to treat people accordingly. But, yeah, someone's husband right here, though. In the beginning, someone's husband ain't having it. Ace of Swords, like, I'm going to go back home. All right, I'm going to work and right back. Like, there's the Ace of Cups, like the High Priestess. The High Priestess is walking on eggshells over love. Okay. I also feel like someone's telling somebody, like, nah, man, I'm married. I can't, like, my husband, like, nah, my husband knew I was talking to you. Like, just don't talk to me, man. You don't want these fucking problems. And I really hope that ain't pimping. Okay, because that's also grooming, like where you're grooming your partner to be like that scared to where they don't want other people to even look at them because they're scared. Like, my husband will do something to you, they'll fuck you up. This kind of reminds me of Yellowstone, though, but reverse. The wife, when the wife was dancing with her friend, and then came some bitch from California, and she was all up in her man, and she was like, let's go dance. He's like, I can't. And she was like, why not? She's like, well, you see that lady over there? And he's like, yeah, that's my wife. And she was like, oh, I'll fix that real quick. And she went up to her and she got her ass beat. But that's not for everybody, I guess. And you got to be careful, because a lot of these beautiful women have men that have a lot of power. I'm just saying this, like in Mexico, Latin America, usually the most beautiful women belong to narcos. And you got to be careful. You fuck around and mess around with one of these narco wives, and you're going to find out why people don't mess around with the narcos wives. Even if they're not together, they have to leave their whole city, their whole town to find a relationship somewhere else, because those men with power can find you. And even if you don't want to be with them, they will find your ass. They might not kill the woman, but they'll kill the man. He's disposable, but not the female. And there's sometimes that men like fall in love with beautiful women, and even though they're not together, they feel entitled. They may not ever tell that woman that, oh, I want you like that, but they're beating up everybody behind closed doors when she's not around, or making it difficult for anybody to even pursue a relationship with that woman because they're fucking around, or a man of power wants that woman. If you're married, obviously, we're not talking about you, but this is open discussion about mentality of relationships, situationships, and all of that. Sometimes you got to treat certain people differently because that's not who they are or what they are to you. Anyways, open discussion, leaving it alone.